my name is Alieshia, and I am the host of Behind the Brand. Behind the Brand is a talk show where I interview business owners, entrepreneurs, and content creators about building a brand and who they are behind the business they run. Today we are at Family Fun Cafe and Ice Cream with Miss Michelle. She is the owner of this ice cream parlor that we are in right now. Loving the pink and the blue, the color aesthetic, right here in Radcliffe, Kentucky. So I'm going to let her introduce herself, and we are going to get into the fun questions.
Okay.
Yes, so let them know who you are.
My name is Michelle Herman, and I have been here in Radcliffe for about, I got to figure out which child.
Okay.
26 years. I've been in Radcliffe for 26 years, raising my kids and homeschooling and involved in ministry and a couple other things, and now running some businesses here. So
yeah. So how long have you had the Family Fun Cafe and Ice Cream?
I have been here for about 5.5 years now.
Okay. That's good, because some people don't continue after their first year. So
you're correct.
Yes, Black-owned women's business. So, did you always want to be an entrepreneur when you were growing up?
Well, I have a very strong personality.
Okay.
So I kind of, beat the drum to my own kind of tune here. So always in a position of possibly leadership or over something. Entrepreneur. I didn't see anyone that looked like me or anything like that. So that was never something growing up that I had, but always wanting to be over something, running something type of thing. So I guess by definition, it kind of was along the way. Yes.
Okay, so it's like you didn't always know that it was an entrepreneur, but you always knew that you wanted to lead something or be over in charge of something.
Yes.
Okay. So growing up then and starting this business, how did you get started? Like, what was like, I want to start an ice cream parlor?
Well, it was a total fluke how it happened, actually. But it was a God fluke. I don't know if those two words can cancel each other out. But at the time, my husband was working, and I was at home with several of our kids. We have 10 all together, but we only had several. We only had a couple back then. So, and we had 2 houses and everything like that. My husband was going through grave depression at the time, and we had $800 to our name. To our name, in the bank. And at that time, my faith was, I just really felt like God had something for us, even though nothing around us looked like there was a light at the tunnel, but I just kept speaking that, and I kept saying that. It was just that feeling that was tugging at me and wouldn't let go of me, that, trust me, right? And just stay faithful. So we put this property up for sale. Actually, this is a property that we had, so we put it up for sale, and the next day my husband comes home. I'm on my way to a homeschool conference, and he says, what do you think about turning the property into an ice cream parlor? So when we first got here, catty corner to us, there used to be, it's called Dairy Deli, an ice cream shop. Yeah, it was well over 20 years ago. And it was like the spot to go to for families. And so he came home and he asked me that, and he kind of backed up because I got quiet, and I normally don't do that. I don't get quiet. But he backed up and he paused and he braced himself, because he's always asking me to cook for people, and I did not want to do that. And I just dropped my head, and I just felt this peace come over me, and it was just like something clicked, and it said, this is something that could be a legacy for my children, and also for this community, especially where the ice cream parlor is located. So I paused for a second, thought, and I just looked up at him. I did ask one question: do I have to cook? He said no, and I said, okay, I'm down for it. Yeah, let's do it. And then the next question was, do you know anything about ice cream? Neither one of us knew anything about ice cream. We're in our 40s. We've been doing our thing, and so it was a whole new, probably Pandora's box that opened up for us of, gifts and talents to quickly be revealed.
Okay, so it was just like an idea, and it was just like, okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. You already had it, so it worked together. So talk a little bit about that, like that process. Like, how long did it take from that idea until like you opened the doors?
Well, I do not have a lot of patience, believe it or not, even though I have a lot of kids. But I like things to go like boom, 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 and I try to line them up, order them up, and remarkably, we got this business up and going in 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah. So I ordered a book on how to have an ice cream parlor.
Okay.
And I asked questions, read, and then I started reaching out to other ice cream shop owners wherever I was at. If I was, at the time I was up in Ohio, so I went to some shops there and talked to people in the ice cream industry. Those people, they're always open and always willing to be helpful. So I just went and spoke to people in the business, and everyone was very helpful, and people in the city were very helpful. And so we were out building the porch, and a complete stranger came up to us and said, "Do you need help?" And we did. We needed a lot of help.
Yes.
How to build a porch out. We didn't even know how to do that. And so he quickly became one of our closest friends. Believe it or not. But it's so amazing to see people in this community come together for a good thing.
Yeah, that's one like pro in small cities. Like people come together, they work, and you know people. Because I don't know if in a big city they would have been like, you need some help. They'd be like, what you doing? So that's good too. So it didn't take you that long.
No.
2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
So,
amazing.
Yeah, that is really, really good.
Yes.
So I guess you get this question like we were talking about it earlier. Like an ice cream parlor is definitely very lucrative in the summer, but did you think about how you were going to make money in the winter time, because sometimes people don't want ice cream in the winter? Was that something that crossed your mind?
Well, it definitely was a learning curve for me. That was some part that I did not think about, obviously, and so those down times for me are really when the time to be creative. A lot of people come up with and invent things during those stressful and trial times, right? Struggling times, obviously. And so that's where, yes, our hot chocolate floats, those are one of our big sellers in the winter. And and I definitely wanted to be something different. I didn't want to be like any other ice cream parlor. I didn't want it to be where, we just want you to come, get the ice cream and go. We just want your money, and I didn't want that. I am a connector, and like you said, the small town feel. I want everyone that comes through the door to feel like, oh, this is my place too. I mean, even when getting the parlor up, I was posting things. What color should we paint the wall? Which logo do you like? Just because, for the community involvement and pride. But yes, the winter time, I did have to come up with some creative things. It did stretch me, activities and things like that. But each year, I feel like it gets better and better. So it challenges me more and more. So
that's good. I think that is also about the small community, because literally everybody I've interviewed have talked about the community, and they're like, they want people to come in, they want people to sit, they want people to like, they don't want people to like go home after. So it's like, that's a perk in a small community, to have people to be able to come and say, you ain't got to fight for no parking. You just come, you eat, you can bring your family, literally, and just have a good time. And it's like, there's no rush.
Everybody knows your name. That's the kind of mindset that the atmosphere that I wanted in the parlor. You never know why people are coming to get ice cream, and we have built some amazing relationships with our customers. We've had people come whose children were finishing their chemo treatments. Someone who just lost their father at the nursing home coming to celebrate. I mean, it's just amazing things that take your breath away. Being in the business here with ice cream, because ice cream is for all kinds of celebrations, and you never know why people are coming.
That's true.
You never know why people are coming, and I don't know, it makes people relax and they open up, and we
really people have ice cream dates.
Yes. So we I don't know. I like it because ice cream equate memories, and it equates celebration to me. So.
Yeah, I love that. So that kind of gets me into my next question: is what does success mean to you in the realm of entrepreneurship?
Oh, wow. Okay, I had to write this one down to make sure I said this one correctly.
Okay.
So, when I'm able to use my God-given gifts to live the life with a purpose, meaning, and growth. So that is in myself, financially, spiritually, and just even, society-wise in your community. Always wanting to grow and be creative and to make an impact that continues on after I'm gone. So that to me is being successful.
That is really good. Do you feel like, this is definitely generational wealth, so do you feel like passing it down to your kids, you feel like they're going to take it, or you feel like, are they feeling the ice cream? Or
they argue over who's going to take over.
Okay, they do? So that's good. So you know it's going to stay in the family.
Yes,
that's good. That's good. Generational wealth is very important.
Yes.
So I like that answer. What is one piece of advice that you got from anybody before you started your business?
Oh, wow. There's a saying, don't let your ice cream melt while counting someone else's sprinkles. It's a saying. That advice would be that you need to know your purpose and your mission and your goals and to stay focused on that. It's so easy to look at what someone else is doing. It's so easy to do that.
It very much
and
is.
compare yourself. But what God has for me is for me, and I have to keep that at the forefront of myself and remind myself of that. And then also, because of that, I feel like the things that I do, they are God-inspired ideas and the creativity that He's put in me. I really don't take credit for those things. I know, because it's like, wow, that sounds like an amazing idea. But I feel like God gave those things to me. And so just by staying close, remembering the mission, the purpose at hand, staying focused on what you're called to do, I think that will help you go a lot further.
Yeah, that's really good.
And stay on track, especially when I find myself maybe being stressed or anxious about something. I have to take a break and step away and say, well, wait a minute, okay, what is going on in my life, or what am I doing in my business that I'm feeling this way? What have I added on, right? That I shouldn't have added into the business or into my life. So
it's more like balancing and learning, like not to be so overwhelmed. You brought that to my next question. Okay, you're doing so well. So you did speak about having 10 kids, even though not you having 10 kids, but all together, you and your husband. So how do you balance that, with your personal goals, your relationship and your kids, and working? I don't know if this is all you do, or if you have another 9 to 5, but how do you balance all that when it comes to entrepreneurship?
So I am very involved with even my adult children. If it's a phone call or a text, we have a family group text that we will make posts in every day. Sometimes 2 and 3 or 4 times a day. Different things like that. I assist my husband with his business a lot of times as well, and I'm very heavily involved in ministering and a lot of community events. And so, you presented a question about how do you balance it. So you don't.
Oh. Well, thanks.
Everyone will. I don't know who came up with that. Someone that probably had one thing and no kids. I don't know who came up with that, but I don't feel like I'd rather look at the true definition of balance, and I actually pulled that up. This is a definition of balance is an even distribution of weight enabling someone or something to remain upright and steady. So I focus on the upright and steady, right? And so that is whatever is the priority at that time. So me sitting here with you, right, helping you accomplish your goal, answering questions, things, that is my priority right now. Not organizing my books, not doing this or whatever. But if I get a phone call, right, it's my son, it's an emergency, then the priority shifts.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So whatever is priority at the time, right, that is what gets your time, and that's where the balance happens, because I would hate to be doing this over here while neglecting my husband over here. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it is, the balance is being able to be steady and upright.
Okay, so you're using balance as like prioritizing like what has to get done right now.
Right.
So it's not like you're balancing it.
Right.
You're just like, okay, I need to get this done now, then this is next.
Right.
So it's more like what comes next when you are
What is needed at the moment?
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I like that. That's good. Because truly balance is like hard. And people always say like balance like your level. Like no, it's not really that I'm balancing it all. I'm just working with what I got to do what I need to do. So
all in even from day to day we have those like a different seasons that we're going through. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, I do see what you're saying. And so when it comes to your business, I know like there was a pandemic, COVID and everything. Did you
can I interrupt one on that balance thing?
Yes.
One thing that I would suggest someone to do, whatever your priorities are, to get those on the calendar first. So like we know the New Year's getting ready to come. So one of the things our family did was, okay, we say family's important. Is it really? So pull out the calendar, get those birth dates down, get, whatever. Well, let's go ahead and plan our family vacation, whatever, and then everything else can work around it. So family stays priority, or whatever it is that's priority, gets on that calendar first, and then everything else works around it.
That's true. I like that because if your family is your priority, you want to make sure it's the first thing that you think about, and then you can work around everybody's birthday. There's a lot of birthdays sometimes.
Yeah, we do that. 10 times a year.
Okay, that's a lot of birthdays. I know y'all probably hate when it's like 2 birthdays in 1 month. We be like, oh, okay now. A lot's going on this month, but we're going to make it work.
Right, that's
it
right.
is a priority.
Yeah.
So that is definitely good. So, yes, that was a great addition. I like that. So thinking about COVID, thinking about pandemic, or even just how you were talking about switching from, being summertime, like ice cream, to switching winter time. You talked about like how have you had to pivot? If you had, how was that process, or what did you think about when having to pivot your business because everything was shut down, or because you're like, okay, well, people aren't buying ice cream in the wintertime? Like, how did you handle that process?
So I was a little nervous. I was scared. I was afraid. I was concerned for my staff too as well, because the week that we were supposed to open, the kids were going on their spring break, and I was like, well, this is the perfect time to do training for the new staff, which is mainly teenagers. And then the school sent out a one call about we're going to do fall spring break for 2 weeks. I'm like, I've been with the Hardin County schools for over 20 years. They have never done two. I was like, okay, we're going to pull back and hold off because something is not right, right? And then they did make the announcement, and so it kind of took me off my kilter because I just didn't know nobody knew what to expect. And the great thing was we were all going through this together
at the same time. Yeah.
Right. So everybody was super sensitive to all of that. But when I think of that word pivot, you have something that's in the middle that everything else is going around. So to me, there wasn't really a pivot. It was more of honing in on the pivot as far as, what is family fun about? We are about family, we're about fun, and we're about ice cream and helping people have great memories. And so I said, okay, well, I do like a challenge. So the things that I did, the COVID happening for me kind of forced me to those ideas that I would have but were like too afraid to launch or too afraid to do. It was at the point of, well, what do I got to lose?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just going to try it, and everything I did, it was like, wow, this worked.
Okay.
It's, so don't sit on those things that you have. Just move forward. Do it afraid or whatever. But so our biggest thing that we did was our father-daughter ice cream socials.
Oh, okay.
So we made the father-daughter and the mother-son. We made those to go. So we would normally let the fathers and daughters come in. They would have a Sunday bar. They get to take a picture, and then they'll come down and play a game, and then they have a keepsake activity that they did while they were here to take home. Well, we just put all that in a box, and they were able to do it at home.
That's cool.
Same thing for the mothers. Same thing for Easter. We did an Easter egg delivery instead, and then we scheduled. So we just tweaked it a little bit and made it COVID Friendly, yes.
But
Correct.
that's cool too,
Yeah.
knowing like when to adjust and be flexible. You could, to go orders, that's quick.
Yeah.
Oh, let's make it home. Like, to be able to think about that stuff and like know
Right.
how to like actually go through with it. That's sometimes the problem. Some people don't know really how to plan and like
Go
figure
back
it out.
to your mission statement. Go back to your goals. That always helps ground you. You know, it's so easy. We write that down and then we'll put it in the drawer or the book or whatever, or we forget where we wrote it, but pull it back out, especially in those times when you're discouraged or whatever, and get, refocus back on the basis of why you're doing it.
And what you
I
started.
still was able to accomplish it. I still was able to bring families together. I was still able to bring fun, and I was still able to provide ice cream for families.
That's good. I like that. Those are really cool. The socials, I really like that. That's a great idea. So that was cool. Those are some cool ways to, mix it in together. So what do you think your most calculated risk has been as an entrepreneur?
Wow. I think just starting.
Yeah.
The starting. Well, after you start, it's easy to start, right? It's easy to start, but then to keep it going. So
keep it going.
yeah, that is.
Most calculated.
I don't know. I didn't get that question.
Oh, you didn't? It's okay.
She's catching me off guard here, but wow.
That's good though. Just
that's
like.
a good question.
Yeah, just think about it. But that's good though, because the startup costs are one thing, but keeping it up is another.
Yeah.
Like, okay, do I have it for 6 months? Do I have it for a year?
Yeah.
How am I going to be able to keep it up? So.
Yeah, there were a lot of tears the first year, like, first couple of years.
Okay.
Probably just last week even, I don't know, but yes.
But you're moving and you're progressing, and you've been doing good because you are almost at a decade. You halfway to a decade.
Woo, yeah, that's
You're not where you've been coming from.
That's right.
It's where you're going. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So I know a lot of people talk about like entrepreneurs should wake up at this time, should wake up at this time. And I knew that this probably would be a great question for you with your busy schedule because you got kids, you got a husband, So like, what is your morning routine? Like, what time do you wake up?
I wake up between 4:30 and 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just have to have that time to yourself. And so I get up about that time. I'll get up and I'll read my word and I'll pray. I'll do some journaling. A lot of times I'll do that. And then my son, the last one, he's 16. And so he gets up and we spend time together. And then my husband and I spend time together before they go off to work. And a lot of times with the adult kids, someone's getting a text or a phone call or whatever. So that's pretty much my morning routine, and then I go right into my work. I mean, I love what I do. It's so hard to not think about my business. And my kids always tease. They're like, "Oh, she's taking care of her other child." Yeah, they have issues.
The 11th child.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh my gosh, she's talking about me." Yeah. But I love it. I mean, and it's so crazy to me. 5.5 years, still feeling this way.
Yeah,
like
that's good.
Christmas morning every time, even though it's a challenge, but just. I want everybody to feel that way in reference to something that they feel they're called to do.
Yes, that's good too, because you could really be fired, you could be stressed every day. At least you still love it, you still get joy out of it, you still have fun. But I love how you said you can spend the time, give people their time. You wake up early. I was like, let me see what time you wake up, because some people be waking up early. I'm early, but I'm not that 4:30, 5:30 early, but some people are like that, so I'm just like, I feel like that's good to know, to have time for yourself, be able to make time for your significant other and your kids. So that's all in that prioritizing what you were saying early, you prioritize that so you get up and you make it work. So you kind of talked about it, and you were saying it sounds like you're very passionate about it, but do you know what's your why when it comes to business, the ice cream parlor, or in general?
So growing up, I grew up in a home with 10 kids.
Okay.
10 brothers and sisters, and my mom was also a foster parent. And so we would get kids coming straight out of the hospital, sometimes being abused or neglected, and even in the home, there was abuse going on with myself, with my brothers, and my mother wasn't aware of that. But as I got older, this like inner strength or this inner crusade warrior or something developed that, I'm going to speak for the people that can't speak, and I'm going to try to help those that can't help themselves until they can. And so I have to survive. I have to go and get up every day whether I want to or not, because somebody needs it, right? Somebody needs hope. Somebody needs encouragement. And so, and I found that for myself. I know I talk about this a lot through Christ, but he's been my hope. He's been my, sanity at times, a lot of times. And so the why is I just want people to know that, there is hope. There are second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth chances, and, that you at any time can.
Wrapping up with your why, well, when I was here, you were talking about like being a voice for the voiceless, kind of, and just having that that inspiration into helping other people and helping people feel like comfortable being out to come, and through ice cream you can do that, how you're saying, celebrations and different things like that. So I really did like that about your why, and you for a big family, so I can see how the big family comes into that as well. So with us wrapping it up, what should we look for next from the Family Fun Cafe and Ice Cream?
Well, there's going to be quite a few changes for next year. Some of those are top secrets, so I can't really reveal those. But each year, as I was saying before, to look at yourself instead of comparing. So each year I look at what I did the year of and how I can improve on better for the next year. Okay. One thing that I'm personally going to do is I want to start a Monday motivation for Christian business, business people, entrepreneurs, and prayer for the week, encouragement. And then I'm also going to step into a new arena in the community. I'm going to put my foot out there. I'm going to do it afraid, and hopefully I'll be able to be a part of it and make some great changes in our community.
Okay, yes, it's all about doing it afraid. You never know what can happen. So, if you're in the Radcliffe area, tell them where they should come and get the best ice cream from.
Well, the best ice cream is going to be at Family Fun Cafe and Ice Cream. We're at 1537 South Wilson Road. So, if you're familiar with Radcliffe or not, we are at the intersection of Rogersville Road and Wilson. You can easily find us behind Budget Car Sales and Priceless Foods in a white and pink house. So we will close for the season December 18th, and then we will open back up the last week in January going into February, because it's National Ice Cream for Breakfast Day, the first Saturday in February. Okay. We get crazy people coming on that day at 9 o'clock in the morning in pajamas. So
ready for some ice cream.
Yes, in 30-degree weather. It's fine. But then they have fun. So
yes, that is so funny. Do you have any social media like Facebook or anything that they can like and check out?
Yes, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have a website.
Is it Family Fun?
Yes, Family Fun Cafe and Ice Cream.
Yes, well, thank you for being a part of the Behind the Brand series. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure, if you're in Radcliffe, to come check it out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the next interview. Bye. Content creators, and also business owners about building their brand. Let me do that over. The why. Okay, are you recording? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so